Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Pam and Ricky are joining me, and we talk about the new lounge that's opening next month at Epcot. It's going to be right there in Spaceship Earth, GEO-82 coming soon to get all the details. And then we do a little armchair imagineering, and we come up with a couple of nooks and crannies around Walt Disney World that are not being used. And we put our lounges into those areas. How would we theme them? And what will we bring to make the Disney experience even better on property? I like my idea, but see what you see here from Ricky and Pam, and give us your thoughts as well over in the clubhouse after the show. I can't wait to hear what you guys come up with. Don't forget, our podcast always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get to your favorite Disney destination for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. There's also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make the show possible, so we couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much for that. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2685 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend. And holy cow, it is May the 2nd. So, well, I guess I could save it for Friday or for Monday, but I'll just say it right now. May the 4th be with you. I mean, we're getting close. I don't want to miss it. You know, you got to make sure it's with you and everybody's set. So hope you have a great Star Wars day, and we're going to get you there. We're going to have some fun doing a little armchair imagineering on today's show. You can play right along with us, maybe tonight at dinner with your friends and family, or as you're riding around in the car, because we have news off the top of today's show. We'll talk about a great new lounge coming to Epcot and just have some fun. That's what we do here on a Friday, talking Disney with you. We're so glad you're tuned in. So joining us today, we have Ricky from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com and The Mouse for Less, where you can get all this news if you want to consume it with some graphics and some text in an old-fashioned way, like Gutenberg. What's up, Ricky? Happy Friday.
Cool. Yep. If you want the chicken legs guy to, tell you the news, I'm him.
What?
That's what I always think. Whenever I ride Spaceship Earth and there's the Gutenberg, the printing press right there, yes. The guy who is Gutenberg, he has like the thinnest legs ever. Like they're so tiny. So I always call him chicken legs.
I mean, so. Mike Bankhead has chicken legs too, but I don't call him out on the podcast.
Well, this isn't a real guy, so I think he's cool. I think we're gonna be all right.
I think I kind of just did call out Mike Bankhead on the podcast.
You did just call out Mike Bankhead. Way to go.
He's
Mike,
he's my brother from another mother. I have chicken legs too. We're the chicken leg guys.
I still love you, Mike Bankhead. So just ignore Mike Rallman and just know right. I still have the love for you. So we're good.
Hey, chicken legs are in for the summer of 2025.
Yeah. So speaking of running and our running team, the Lizards have the fun run coming up.
I have that screenshot. I was going to say it. I'm glad you did. Perfect. So mention it. Yes, because I screenshotted it.
Wait, now I need to actually pull it up. Hold on.
Okay, I have it right here because Molly, you put it in the Lizards group.
Yes.
It's the 9th annual. Give me to say it because I got it right.
Yeah, you say it. You say it. Yeah.
Yes, I'm pumped about it. Can you believe how long the Lizards have been around for over 10 years?
The Lizards have been around a long time. Yeah.
I mean, almost as long as like the reptile itself. I mean, we're just a few million years short, but we're getting there. So the 9th annual BOGP Lizards Fun Run is going to take place on Saturday, June 7th from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time. Not that we're going to be checking for real.
Right.
You're going to be like doing it between that exact window, but it's kind of fun because we all post on social media. So if you can do it during that time, I'll probably be doing it a little bit earlier because I get up at 5 in the morning, but I'll post it then. That's when I finish. You can run, walk, or hike. And what we do is we get together and it says on Saturday, June 7th, run, walk, or hike as much or as little as you like in the name of building our larger community. There's no minimum mileage or pace requirement, as all we ask is that you take a selfie or group photo and post to the Lizards Facebook page with the hashtag LizardFunRun2025. And what we do on that day is that we donate a little donation to Give Kids the World, which is our selected charity, which we've supported for the over 10 years that we've had the Be Our Guest podcast Lizards. And the link is in the Lizards group, which I can't see right now because I just took a screenshot and I'm trying to click on things and it's a screenshot, so I can't. But just go to the Lizards group and just know that we are having the fun run on June 7th. So strap in, get ready. We're a month out. Wear your Lizards gear for the picture if you have it, or just wear that color. And of course, thumbs up, or I don't know, make a cool lizard face. It's going to be fun. June 7th, Saturday, fun run. Ricky, thanks for mentioning that.
I now want to know what a lizard face is. So,
I mean, do you have to have like a forked
well,
tongue?
I know we used to do like the tongue out, like I think that was one of them.
Should
so
we do that?
Maybe.
That's kind of horrendous. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not good. Thank God nobody watches the video of this.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, youtube.com/BeOurGuestPodcast.
Yeah, don't go to that. No, it's fine.
We have a channel. All right, Pam Forrester, she's here. Kona the Magic for Less Travel, getting ready for a big weekend up in Pittsburgh. Maybe. I don't know. What's up?
No, not a big weekend, actually. Just a regular weekend before
Those are the
my
best.
insane
Honestly,
travel schedule.
Yeah, at my age, dude, just regular weekends are the best. They're the bomb.com.
Yeah, I know, right? And I'll hope for some good weather because we had some last week until the weekend came. Why does that happen?
So our weatherman said, and I heard this past, if it rains on Easter, it'll rain for the next 7 Sundays. Did it rain on Easter at your place? Because it poured here on Easter.
We had, and we had torrential downpours last weekend, like the kind that like a couple days afterwards, like your yard is still sort of squishy, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So I guess we need it, right? They say April showers, spring, May flowers. So do they still say that, or is that still very old?
We do, because we're the oldest podcast on the internet, at least in the Disney sphere. I mean, hello. You know, we
should have a new logo made with that. The oldest podcast.
Like instead,
on the internet.
Well, think about it. Like, you know, our original logo had the like the iPod, and I mean, it was like, because when we didn't even go with like the classic iPod, because we're going with the like latest iPod. It was the iPod. It was the second generation iPod. It was that skinnier. I don't even know what it was called. It was like a lighter, because I had it. It was not the classic. It was the next one. It was like tall and skinny, kind of vertical looking. And we had that iPod on our logo, and then that thing, you know, nobody has iPods anymore. But now I guess we should get like a 3rd generation logo with like walkers or something. Like hearing aids.
I think we should say, so you know how like Big Thunder Mountain, they're like the wildest ride in the internet, or on the internet, like not the internet, the wildest ride in the wilderness. We are the oldest podcast on, and I think we should say the word interwebs, because then that really hits home. Yes. The old part.
We are, you know, and our favorite ride now is going to be lounges, because, you know, these old whippersnapper roller coasters are too tough on our joints. But and here I am still signing up for marathons. What am I doing? Like, idiot. But okay, so let's get to today's topic. So we're going to be talking about this new lounge that we've been, you know, hearing all this about, but it's opening June 4th. It's imminent. It's happening in a month and 2 days.
Crazy.
We'll get to experience it. I'm glad that, you know, Disney announced it, you know, earlier in the week, and bam, it's happening within 5-6 weeks. Ricky, give us the scoop on what we know about Geo. I love the name GEO-82. That's a great name, by the way. They nailed it with the name.
They did. And GEO-82 is, of course, named after the fact that this lounge is physically in Spaceship Earth. So it is an actual Spaceship Earth lounge. And like you said, it's officially opening on June 4th. You can make reservations beginning May 9th or May 6th. God, I cannot get the right dates for this thing. And as a reminder, this lounge is actually an adults only lounge. So you have to be 21 and over in order to be able to dine here. Yeah. Yes. Mike is very happy.
Editorial. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. It's going to offer snacks and cocktails. And you get a view of the gorgeous World Celebration Gardens. So it's actually, if you've ever
is it going to be a view of the back of Walt's head?
Yeah, yes, actually.
Yes.
So if you ever looked at the back of Spaceship Earth, the back side of it, there are these windows that you see. You probably have never paid attention to them, but there are windows back there, and that's actually where the lounge is going to be located. So, it's gonna have some delicious drinks, like I think probably Scott's gonna like this one, a brown butter old fashioned, which sounds right up his alley.
It sounds. I don't know. Like, I'm not a big drinker, but brown butter old fashioned.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
He likes his old fashions.
But
so
butter. I mean, is a butter in an old fashioned thing? I don't know. Like, butter seems like something you should go on a roll. But
yes, well,
I don't know.
It's brown butter though, so it's a little sweeter.
Okay.
And then a clarified New York sour, and then there's also going to be some small bites, like a jumbo lump crab gâteau and the truffled ahi tuna.
I love ahi tuna. That's what I get on the cruise at Enchanted Garden.
Yeah, there's also a charcuterie plate, which looks amazing as well. So if you want to take a look at all the menu options, I've got them on a Disney World after all, so you can go to the site and pull up the menus. But the other interesting part is the fact that they are actually going to have a fireworks experience, which this makes complete sense. So they're going to have guests be able to view Luminous from the lounge's windows, and they're going to have the ability to enjoy a tasting tower of the savory light bites and some sweet selections, and then there's champagne poured tableside and event exclusive cocktails. So that part's good, and I believe, if I remember right, because I wrote this up in the article, it is $179 each person for that experience. Yes, plus tax and gratuity. So, but if you're looking for a really unique view of the Luminous, I think this is going to be the place to go. So, it's going to be great. And now I did have this question asked earlier, and I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work. Are they just going to have like a section that's sectioned off for this fireworks experience, or is it going to be the whole restaurant? Because I feel like the whole lounge itself is going to have view of the fireworks. So I was like, that's a really good question that I don't have an answer to. So, but I could see either way, where they just have a section, or where they have the whole thing, open for this fireworks experience. So
that's a good question, Pam. What do you think they'll do? You think they'll probably a section? It's probably.
I think this is what I'm thinking, but I think it probably will depend on how popular.
I agree with that.
Well. Yeah. I think, like, if I paid to do that, the last thing I want is to feel like crowded by the whole restaurant, then being around. So I don't know what they're going to do in that space, and they're very good at doing things like this, so I'm sure they've thought about it, but I think it really just depends on how popular it will be.
Right, exactly.
What I'm picturing is, and I've never seen obviously the venue, but what if the venue has like tiered seating, and the tiered seating is like tiered up by the windows, and they rope off like that section that's tiered up by the windows, and that's where they have.
That's possible.
The dessert section, the party, because they can put under it, they could put the little dessert stuff and the champagne and all that stuff, and have like a portable bar there, for the folks that during that hour of the fireworks section. And it's, those are the best seats. You get to go there. You have a wristband or whatever. And then the rest of it's because I don't see them closing it during that.
That's kind of what I didn't see either.
Except that it's at the end of the night.
True. But
so
it's an hour.
It
starts an hour before, though. So they'd have to clear out the restaurant earlier than that, though, if they wanted to.
But it is a high price. I mean,
it is high priced. Yeah, that's true. So I don't know. We'll find out soon, won't we? We'll find out June 4th.
Yeah. What do we think? I mean, do we think this is going to be a high demand, like it's going to sell out? Let's talk about the fireworks first. I mean, $179 price point. I mean, I think it'll be. What do we think?
Yeah.
I think for a while it will.
I agree with Pam. I think for a while it will. Yeah. Especially with the new hotness and the new view that you haven't been able to have for fireworks. I'm going to say for a while it'll sell out for sure. Yeah.
Because what they're doing, they're giving. Because remember when they announced the revamped Future World, they were going to have that second level, the building there in the middle,
correct,
and then you're going to be able to watch fireworks from up there. This is basically like a light version of that you can buy.
Absolutely, yeah. This is definitely the light version of that for sure.
Yeah, so. I think for people who want to be real up close to it, it's probably not going to be their preferred location.
Yeah.
But I will also say, I mean, for when I think about my family, sometimes it's challenging to get them to want to stay
For the
through the
fireworks.
fireworks. And
Yeah.
this would be a no-brainer, right? I would
Absolutely,
just
yeah.
be like, not all the time. Like we do it, a few times a year, probably at
Yeah.
each, at Epcot. But I think this would make it more likely. Whether we'll find it to be worth it, I don't know. So
I wonder if Luminous is a popular enough nighttime spectacular to charge $180.
Well, it's more popular than Harmonious was.
It
so.
is, but it's not as popular as Happily Ever After.
Well, no, but nothing will
Or
ever.
Phantasmic.
I feel like nothing will ever beat Happily Ever After at this point. I mean, although we thought that about Wishes too. I mean, how many people love Illuminations? I'm looking at one of them right now. So, I don't know.
It's super interesting. I mean, it's cool. Let's talk about the venue and what's been announced. So, Pam Forster, what did you think when we got more details earlier in the week when you saw the menu that was released and when you saw, some of the offerings and things like that? Did it get you more excited for this adult only lounge inside of Spaceship Earth?
yeah, it was hard for me to be much more excited, I will say, because I was already right there. As soon as they announced this, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be there. And then in all the like promo photos and stuff, they show this like awesome picture of this old fashioned with this ice cube and with the design on it that is, of course, Spaceship Earth. And I'm like, yes, this is the theming that I'm here.
So many glasses have
truly.
that same
And I
design.
love the name. I think it's just, I think this is the kind of place where I can see my family wanting to go. I love the craft cocktails. I love the different, the feel that they're trying to bring to this. I mean, they have things that like include like that peach shrub. I mean, that's like such a sort of retro cocktail, a shrub is, in that space. But here they are, they have it. And these are the things that have sort of been, gaining more popularity at that too. I like the menu. It's nothing too heavy. But it sort of sets that tone. And then when I saw the souvenir glasses that were going to be available, I was like, yes.
You are coming home with
bringing
me.
a suitcase to
the hard part is going to be getting that out of Epcot without breaking it first.
Yes,
so that's going to be the hard part. But it's really cool.
Yeah, it is. So just, the right kind of things. And I think it's the kind of place like this where it's much easier to make changes to the menu. It's not like a meal where you have to rethink it all or whatever. They can be like, this item isn't selling well. Guess what? We'll pull that out and plug another one right in for it. And there's so many great appetizers from which you can choose. So I'm really excited about it. I'm just excited because I do love the new open feel and the look of that Epcot area when you walk in. When I took my parents there and they had not been there for a while, my mom was sort of blown away. She was like, oh, this is so different. And I'm like, yeah. And I said, and you missed the years of the walls up everywhere and everything. I said, it just feels so big and open right now. And I saw so many people using that space, right? Sitting there,
absolutely, yeah,
hanging out, plugging in their phone, doing all those things. Like, it's interesting to see the way that Disney sort of meets the needs of the guests as they're coming into the parks. Like, it is nice to be able to have an opportunity for downtime, but to not have to leave the park to do it, to be able to sit right there and do that. And the Starbucks is close, so you can get a coffee or a refresher and sit and do that. But then there's also, when there's a festival going on, there's going to be food booths that are right there that are close to it too. And of course, they have the lovely Connections Cafe, which is right there too. So I think that we'll continue to see maybe this. Whoever thought that they would like take something and put in just like seating, like relaxing seating. They took this area that really sort of felt closed off at Epcot, right? When you think about the buildings that used to surround that space, and there weren't many places to sit down there. I can remember at different times being like, okay, we need to sit down now and like go into the electric umbrella seating area to sit there, because there weren't these beautiful open spaces. They've already planted greenery, which is already growing. They have entertainment. not just using that globe thing with that sort of Cirque du Soleil thing happening
That is
there.
so weird. I'm sorry.
It's odd. It is very sort of like kinetic and things like that in that space. So that's interesting. But then you can hear in the distance like the Encanto music, that is happening from that area there too. So I like it. I like the space. I'm really excited to see what this is going to look like. What they've shown us so far looks great. And I just can't wait to really see it in action, and in person.
Yeah, and they're really, I like that they're going for the Disney fan, they're embracing the folks who understand what GEO-82, right from the get, because the casual person's not going to get the 82 connection. Like, what's 82? You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody's just coming in like, oh, this is Six Flags. Like, they're not going to get 82, oh yeah, well, 82 has a connection. Geo, it's a geosphere, it's what Spaceship Earth is. It's, and all the, I'm sure there's going to be just nods all throughout the lounge itself to embrace. Now, also real quick, before we kind of get into what we're going to kind of play off this topic, we just want to give you some information off the top to get you more excited for next month when you get to experience this firsthand. And then we can kind of talk about experiences when people get in and out of this place. Compare this maybe, Ricky or Pam, to getting in, because it's going to have reservations, to maybe what we experienced at, say, Oga's Cantina when it opened. What's the logistics going to be getting in and out of this place, do you think? Because you're going to have reservations, but compare it maybe to Oga's. Because it's going to be kind of a venue similar to that. Oga's a lot smaller, I think.
Oh, I think Oga's is much smaller. Yeah. I think it's going to be, obviously at first, it's going to be really difficult to get into. I think, you're going to have to pack your patience. Like I said, all the Disney fans are going to want to see this space. And so it's going to be a challenge to get into at first. Maybe give it 6 months or so, maybe even a year. And then I think it'll be not as difficult, not as challenging to get into. Obviously it will still be a top tier location, especially I think for the fireworks. But I think that it'll be a little more manageable at that point. I think hopefully they'll also be able to utilize the the walk up option. I feel like that would help a lot too. So if they did have a space that like popped open and they had availability, they would be able to seat somebody through the walk up option. Because I know I've used that for, obviously they do that with like Nomad Lounge and stuff like that. So I think that's a really successful way to experience the lounges as well. So hopefully that's an option for this when they move forward with it, as they shake out how many people they can let in and stuff like that, and how many people will sit for a reservation for a while, because that's going to be also part of it.
Yeah, do you
how
think
long will
have
people
like a
sit
time?
up there?
Yeah, I was wondering, like like Oga's, they try to rush you out after 90 minutes or so. Is they could kind of have that initially? I hope not, but maybe
they might. Yeah, they might. So the kind of good part is here, like, I feel like
if you're buying high-end drinks, though, I don't know why they want to rush you out if you're
true. I feel like it'll be more like Nomad Lounge, where you have an actual server and stuff like that. Like I haven't been to Oga's actually, because it's always been so busy. Although lately I have noticed reservations popping up a lot more for Oga's even now. But I don't, is it just a bar? Like you walk up to the bar, or is it kind of like Baseline Tap House where
I think
you
somebody
walk up to the
comes
bar?
around. I've been in a couple times. I think somebody comes around and serves you a drink.
Oh, okay.
Like
I just hadn't been, so I really
they
didn't
do,
know.
but there's not seating everywhere.
No,
Yes.
Oga's in particular, you could. Most of them are standing.
Yeah, I always stood.
I know, it's like in a theme park, you want to like sit and relax. And I guess they maybe did that to.
Is it maybe more of a parallel to
people
like Trader Sam's? I'm thinking, Pam, would you say it's more of like an apples to apples like a Trader Sam's experience?
Yeah, there's definitely like comfortable seating looking things, and that's been in all the artwork.
Yes.
And I think that is the thing that will sort of make it different. It is in park, but I know that all of us, like after a day of running around the parks, like you want to sit down and have a drink and have something to eat and be able to talk to the people that you're with. So I'm excited. I'm truly excited. So.
Yeah. And again, great nod to folks like us listening to this show that love the Disney history and that they're bringing back. Because I think, all of us like to see the nooks and crannies that have been there all this time that we haven't been able to explore. And now Disney's embraced it. They've souped it up. They're going to hopefully put some, little history in there that we can explore and go in there and have some great beverages, hang out with friends. And if you want to splurge, say for like an anniversary or a graduation, a wedding, whatever, boom, you can do a fire. This is like a dessert party, but on steroids, because you're not out in the weather. You're in a great spot. So going along with that, here's kind of our fun part. We're going to have fun today. If we were Imagineers, we're going to try to come up with a nook and a cranny, like a nook or cranny around Walt Disney World where we might put our own lounge somewhere on property that would be like our jam. And so I was thinking about this afternoon when I saw this announcement come out earlier this week. I've been stewing on this. And here's mine that I would come up with, and I want to see what you think. Now, I'm not a big drinker, so I wouldn't know what's on the menu, and I think this would be a huge hit, because it's a dead space right now. Used to have a reason to have it, but it doesn't right now. Hopefully someday it will. My lounge, I don't know what it would be called. I'll think about it. I'll have to think about this for a second. But here's what it is. My lounge is coming to Pop Century Resort. So it's going to be a very blue collar lounge, right? This is the opposite of like Misner's or whatever, like the Enchanted Rose. This is kind of the opposite of that. It's going to be at Pop Century, and it's in that little alcove there where I used to wait for Magical Express down by where they take care of your bags by Bell Services. If you stay to Pop, you know what I'm talking about. There's like a little hole. There's a video game in there. There used to be a bunch of video games, a couple of them. Like Donkey Kong Machine. I used to play it. And anyway, I would turn that into a lounge. I bust it out, maybe make it twice the size. And in there, you'd have some comfortable seating. You would have retro video games with the comfortable seating. You would have black light and like old concert posters on the wall. And it would look like a 80s arcade with all the sound. And the key is you got to have the sounds of like the 80s arcade. So you got to have like the Pac-Man machines with their sounds, the Donkey Kong, the Asteroids, the Defender, all that stuff going on. But you would serve, whatever drinks, I don't know, like, and they would have to have, like cool names like the Tom Cruise missile or something. I don't know. I'm not good at that stuff. I'll leave that up to other people that are smarter than I am. But you would have like all these 80s things, but and also you'd have music playing all the time, like Hall & Oates, like Maneater, all that stuff. That'd be awesome. I mean, it would fit perfectly with Pop Century. People would be jumping off the Skyliner so fast to get over there and buy these expensive drinks. So I got to come up with a cool name. I got to think of something. But that would be my dead space, a little nook and cranny that's not being used. Boom. There'd be a line through that lobby longer than Sunday morning at check-in at Pop Century to get into my little lounge over at Pop Century. So that's what I got. That'd be bigger than GEO-82. Even though I could use 82 in that, that'd be a good number, because 82 would be kind of my jam. All right, Ricky, what do you think of something? What do you got?
Yeah. So mine isn't nearly as extravagant, I guess, as yours.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
you also have been
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Yes, there you go. Yes, with the Tom Cruise drink. Yeah, exactly.
That thing will put you straight in orbit. I mean, at least in the stratosphere.
I think you got to call it the Tom Cruise cocktail. I mean,
oh,
thank you.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. That was awesome.
There we go. There we go.
Jamaica,
I mean,
baby, wanna take you. That was so good.
You just gotta go with that.
That was so good.
But no, what I'm thinking that they should build, and I've been saying this for a long time, and they kind of have done it, just in a very different way during Hollywood Nights, and that's the Tip Top Lounge. I think that they actually need to have this as a thing all the time instead of just, a drink stand during Jollywood Nights with the jazz music. I think they need to have the jazz music because they have a fantastic musician. I actually follow them on Instagram, and they perform during Jollywood Nights. And so they need to have them performing every night during at this new lounge. It should be over by Tower of Terror, somewhere in that vicinity. I feel like there would definitely be space over there somehow. And I think that, having those drinks that are, 1940s, were really popular in the 40s and the 30s, that kind of thing, would really be a good idea. You'd have, the theming would absolutely be, the spooky hotel. This was a lounge that came out of, was a part of the Hollywood Tower of Terror, or the Hollywood Tower Hotel, and maybe it got unearthed or something like that. They found the entrance or something along those lines, kind of like a speakeasy type situation, or I don't know, something like that. And it would be around the sides, that way it could be hidden. And then people would be able to go there and have a drink, have some, small plates, things like that. And I think that lounge would be really, really a great idea, really popular. It would be one of those situations where I think it would be really hard to get into that lounge. And I am actually very surprised that they have not already tried to do this. I mean, it would be a great space. Now, if they couldn't do it near the Hollywood Tower Hotel, although that would be the perfect spot for it, maybe do something closer to where the Hollywood Brown Derby, or the starring roles used to be. I feel like that would be a good spot for another lounge there as well. That was, Hollywood themed.
They should use that space. That space is killing me.
It's such wasted space, and they should totally use it. I'm sure they're using it for something for like back end stuff, but
it's prime space. We should be able to see. We should be able to use that for something for the guests.
Yeah.
It's such a good spot.
But I like my idea of the lounge that has been unearthed, and it's kind of like a speakeasy and stuff like that. I feel like that would be a really, really good idea, and it again fits that theme really well. So
gotta know the secret knock.
Yeah, gotta know the secret knock.
You want to get a beverage? Yes, I like it. All right, Pam Forrester, where are you going to put your little nook and cranny lounge on property? Where are you going with?
I know. So I actually came up with a list of places.
Oh my gosh,
so.
You're good. This is your bailiwick here.
It is, but I'll highlight this one. So where I'm going, the first location is under the Tron canopy. Oh. There is so much space there. And it is such a very cool space, but not a whole lot to do. Like, you sort of hang out there and you watch it go around a couple times and whatnot. And this space, especially at night, is fantastic. Like, it's just lit. You can see it from everywhere. You do have such a great view. I like everything about it. So I figured this would be a great space to sort of have a sort of futuristic lounge area. I think being able to see the Tron cycles as they go around would be really cool, sort of add some energy to the space. But I think it's also such a great opportunity to sort of have drinks that glow. I mean, Disney does this as well as anyone does. The glow cubes have been around for I don't know how long, but they have all different things that could glow besides the glow cubes. And I think there's lots of opportunity for that. But I think having this space sort of in Tomorrowland too helps make it seem like it makes more sense, because it is such a huge thing, because so much of the attraction is outside, that this is a way to sort of take advantage of that. And I could see us, like, anytime, in the evening, people would be able to look in there and be like, oh, let's go over there, because that's such a cool place to be. And I think it would just be awesome.
I'm saving your rear end. These would be mocktails because we're in the Magic Kingdom.
No, because when there's a sit-down location,
that's true.
You're able.
That's true.
I was just trying to save you some emails. All right, you're good. Okay, good.
And we have the new Pirates Lounge, which is opening in the Magic Kingdom, and they have not said that will not be non-alcoholic.
I thought of it.
I was still living in the days when the podcast started. My bad.
I have a feeling there will be a lot of alcoholic drinks at that tavern, so just throw that out there.
My bad. I was living in 2008 when this podcast was still listened to on an iPod.
A lot of rum will be drank at that new lounge for sure.
Yes. I'm old.
Can you imagine the outcry people would have if you could not buy rum-based drinks at that bar? Come on.
It's not. Is it even piratey if you can't buy a rum drink?
If we'd have put this out as episode 17 of the Be Our Guest podcast, we'd have been tarred and feathered. I'm just saying.
Right. Where is all the rum gone?
We've gone past all that.
Yes. Evolution of the show. Okay, so let's go one more round. The other one I had, and this one I think would be fun. Again, Ricky mentioned the studios. This is where mine would go too. They've used this area every once in a while for things like, actually, the last time they used it was for a jet. I remember signing Mallory up for Jedi Training Academy there one time, a long time ago. It'd be an Indiana Jones bar. And it would be next to, it's adjacent to the Indiana Jones theater there, but it's like next to 50's Primetime. That little, is it a store or what is that?
They
little
actually
area?
had one there briefly.
Did they?
And I'm talking briefly when the last Indiana Jones movie came out. And I know that because my brother sent me photos of, and it's not a very large space, but my brother actually sent me photos from inside, and they had just a little bitty bar. I mean, nothing, big. It was just little, like, I think, a bar. And then they mixed drinks there. But then there were things from that recent movie, props and stuff like that were all around. So it wasn't like a sit down type of area, but they definitely had a bar there. I know that because I got sent drinks from there.
Well, see, basically, I mean, what it would basically be is like an in-park Jock Lindsay's, experience.
Absolutely,
kind of
that would
thing.
be fantastic.
But I think that would be super popular because, you got Indiana Jones. I know it's like an old property, but it is a super popular property. And I think people like to be in that, you go to Disneyland. That's probably the most popular attraction in the park. It's awesome. It's a great experience. And I think right there, people will be funneling out of the Indiana. Of course, you're going to have drinks the afternoon, possibly you're on vacation, and you go in there and it's dark and it's got, whips and the fedora hats and the leather jackets and artifacts from all of Indy's explorations around the world, maps and stuff like that. And it's dusty. And, I think that'd be a great environment to have some drinks and have that kind of like monitors showing, old clips of footage and stuff like that. I think that'd be a great experience right there. Just kind of in that corner. It's kind of tucked away. Put a little lounge right there. And the studios.
I think that's great. Absolutely,
because it's just not used. It's I'm
used.
trying to find places that like just sit there. Like let's use these places. So that'd be my other one. Okay, so Ricky, go one more. What you got?
All right, so I am gonna go into that. It's that Pixar Pier kind of area back there that it's at Hollywood Studios. It's funny that everything's going in Hollywood Studios, I feel like. But there's that Pixar Pier area that are not Pier, but like Pixar section. And right now they have like Incredibles themed stuff. I feel like an Incredibles themed bar back there would be a really great idea. You've got that mid-century modern feel that you could do there. I think that would be really popular. I feel like doing something along those lines would be a really good idea. Obviously, it's not as fleshed out as my Tip Top Club idea because I think that's the winner. But
we don't like our first choice, but way better than everything else. Like
yeah.
Arcade,
but I feel like this space again is space that's not utilized very much, and they really could put something spectacular back there, and it's just kind of empty, dead space right now. So. I feel like an Incredibles themed bar would be a really good idea for back there. So,
we have a suggestion from Facebook from somebody named Jason. What about a club you could watch sports in, perhaps named after a sports network that Disney owns?
Well, there's
yes,
that. Yeah.
And maybe we could place it on the boardwalk in a big spot there on the end. That would be amazing. Oh my gosh, the times you could have there watching things like baseball, football, soccer, World Cup.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the memories that could be made.
The memories.
So smart. All right, Pam, close this out. Give us your second pick that's going to be the best of the rest.
Well, we'll see. So I'm actually going to go to Animal Kingdom.
That was another place I was thinking. Yeah.
For me, I think there are a lot of different opportunities here. There's a lot of really cool kind of bars there, but so much of it is sort of like standing room only or very limited seating or whatnot there. And I think we need to lean into this a little bit and get them a good bar that combines both. So I was thinking that out there on the savannah somewhere, there are plenty of spots that sort of overlook parts of the safari ride, right? And I think having something there would be really ideal because it sort of gives you the opportunity to spend more than those 2 minutes that you get to, you know what I mean, in that part of the savannah. And there are so many great animals to see. We know that they already take guests, in different locations of this ride when they take them on that backstage thing, right? But this allows them to really sort of sit and appreciate all the time and energy and work that goes into everything with these animals all the time. And I would love it if it would sort of be like a lounge area with like a great big glass window.
Oh yeah.
And then on the side, there could be outdoor seating too. So you could have legitimately indoor seating at the lounge, at the window where you could see everything, which God knows it's hot as Animal Kingdom in Animal Kingdom. So this would be a much needed break for people. But for those folks who wanted to sit outside, there's still that availability too. So I think this would just be a really nice way to sort of meld what's really fantastic about Animal Kingdom and the whole park and the Savannah and the safari in particular, and give people an opportunity to sort of relax and enjoy that too.
Basically taking Nomad Lounge and moving it out to the Savannah.
Yeah, exactly. And look at how popular Nomad Lounge is when it basically overlooks some water.
Correct.
And you can hear,
Yes.
like, you know, Pandora in the distance, right? This would be 100 times more popular, but let's do it. Like, people love that. They're showing again and again that people are not afraid to spend money on experiences. I mean, this would be a great way to do that. So,
because the bottom line is you're on vacation, and people, I mean, because the thing is, you know, a Disney vacation is an active vacation. I mean, look at your Apple Watch at the end of the day. You walk 10 miles, you've done a lot, but it is vacation. And you do need to sit down, enjoy a beverage with your friends and family, and talk about life. You know what I mean? You know, you got it's a balance. You know, you got to have both. You know, you don't want to sit there and do that all day, every day. You want to get out there and you know, chase around and do the attractions, see the shows. But I'm glad that we're kind of having this experience where we can go around and, you know, get to have these quiet times. And because, you know, like you said, Pam, you know, the heat of Florida in July, these are great respites to kind of catch your breath and recharge.
They allow you to sort of emerge with more energy and like, okay, like at one point, I think when you're down there, you get to the point where you're like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. Like we're going to have to leave. And then it's like, okay, everyone needs to take a break. We're all going to sit down. We're all going to talk. We're going to get some AC. And then you're like, okay, I can do this.
I'm good now. Yes. I'm not dying anymore. We're
don't
good.
have to pack up and leave. We can stay.
We can all still be a family. We're all going to actually, if at some point, we're all still going to get on the airplane together and go home and live in the same house.
That's right.
Yeah, it's going to work. All right. So we gave our ideas, but here's the exciting part. Come over to the clubhouse. Let us know what you would armchair Imagineer, where you're find the legitimate place at Walt Disney World, a little nook or cranny that you would throw a lounge into. What would your theme be? I can't wait to hear. We can do this on Sunday night as well for the live call-in show. So we'll kind of carry that on there. So come on over to the clubhouse, beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We're standing by this weekend to help you get to your favorite Disney destination for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details right now over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Every time you make a purchase on Amazon, it supports us. So just click through that link. We'd really, really appreciate that. And also, thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys help us keep us on the air and pay for all this. And just $5 a month is all it takes. And you'll get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. So come on over this week. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on the social media. I'm at beourguestmike. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs. Pam's at TMFLTPam. Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. And of course, we'll have the live call-in show Sunday night, a couple of nights from now, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, 5 locations: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Give us a call. Hopefully Scott will be there with us. We'll be taking your calls, talking Disney, having a good time. The show gets turned over to you. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so it's the weekend. I typically don't drink, but I'm going to go get a brownie cupfection from DQ tonight, and that's my kickback. That's how I celebrate a Friday night. So whatever you do, hope you have a great weekend. So for Ricky and Pam, have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.